welcome back to The Works. My name is Sam Ashkenazi, and I've got a couple of reviews for you today. I apologize I'm a little bit late on these. I have kind of been sick this whole week, and I just needed a minute. So, without further ado, let's talk about Sinners. Sinners is rated R. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes. It's produced by Warner Brothers, and it is... well, I'm actually not going to tell you the genre. It's written and directed by Ryan Coogler and stars Michael B. Jordan twice over, Miles Caton, and Delroy Lindo. Over the years, Ryan Coogler has amassed an impressive fan base. His tenure at Marvel directing Black Panther and Wakanda Forever has made him a household name. Those titles, on top of Indie Heartbreaker, Fruitvale Station, or the Furious Creed series, makes him a name to watch. That name is usually coupled with the talents of Michael B. Jordan, who, aside from being a classic Hollywood heartthrob, has always picked great roles for himself, dating all the way back to the first time I saw him in the found-footage sci-fi Chronicle. Sinners sees writer-director Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan paired together for what appears to be the fifth time now, and they're tackling the horror genre. In the vein of something like Jordan Peele's Get Out, Sinners is a horror movie set in Clarksdale, Mississippi, 1932. Michael B. Jordan plays the dual roles of the Smokestack twins. Smoke is sporting a blue cap while his brother Stack wears a red one. The costume differences are subtle, and yet I feel like they could almost be potentially iconic uses of costume and color. The twins have been in Chicago and have apparently made a name for themselves as violent men. We don't know exactly what they did to garner that reputation, but whatever it was, the brothers are looking to leave it behind them. They have returned to their hometown to open up a juke bar. Despite their history, they are welcomed back warmly by their community. Annie rekindles her affection for Smoke, whom she shared a child with. Stack heads into town. He has to find entertainment for tonight's grand opening. Playing the blues, Stax finds Sammy. Miles Caton, who they say is introduced in this movie. He does an amazing job here. And Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo. Stack also finds his ex-lover, Mary, played by Haley Steinfeld, who he left without any explanation. As it goes, Sinners sets up a cast of characters who will be attending this party, this grand opening of their juke bar. From the get-go, the film tells us, should someone play the blues in just such a way, it will attract trouble. And trouble it does indeed attract. I went into this film knowing as little as possible, which I think is the best way to see the film. Coogler wisely directs this like a traditional horror film, taking its time, establishing characters and the world they occupy, and waiting until the right moment for things to go south. What I think is so masterful are the scenes just before trouble comes. While the party is in full swing, Coogler takes this long take camera around the juke bar. Mixed in among the partygoers are other elements of Black culture, from dance to hip-hop, and it's so subtle you might miss it. But when you catch it, it turns this kind of mainstream horror film into one with a little bit more brains. The blues comes from Black people as an expression of their pain and strife and a musical retelling of their own history. When played too well in this film, it attracts a monstrous horde of people who are also unmistakably tied to the Ku Klux Klan. When Coogler glides his camera around the party to show all these different decades of Black culture, what he's really saying, I think, is anytime Black people want to express themselves loud, well, and beautifully, it attracts this uninvited hatred. Bleak as that sentiment is, the film is nothing short of remarkable. It is genuinely jarring to see a horror film with a reported budget of $90 million, nearly unheard of in its genre. Sinners is big, colorful, lush with texture, and big set pieces. It has a great score from Ludwig Göransson from Oppenheimer. It has some breathtaking and very stylish cinematography. The ensemble cast is stellar, all of whom make their characters dimensional and driven. The film balances a long, brewing tension and bloody supernatural horror with some moments of comedic levity and steamy kind of romance, which evens things out. If I were to be nitpicky, I'd say just a couple things. The first of which I'm not sure is a critique, but the film feels a bit overproduced. It's almost too clean. With such a great screenplay, it might have been a bit more emotional to get a little bit more grittiness out of it, something more indie in its tone. But again, I'm not really sure that's a real criticism. Secondly, I think the film goes just a little bit too long, particularly in the ending. There is a moment when Coogler makes this decision to cut away from a fight to another fight, keeping the audience kind of in the dark over the fate of another character. When we finally get that answer, for me, it felt a bit tacked on and didn't really work. The last thing I'll say is, at first I thought it was my theater, but I've now started to hear other complaints about it, that this film is a bit too dark. In some of the nighttime scenes, it's genuinely hard to see what's going on. And now that I've heard other people say it, I'm realizing it wasn't just my theater. I think just a bounce board, guys, would have really helped. I don't know what went wrong here, but there's definitely a couple scenes that look a bit too dark. But look, of course, all these reviews are subjective anyway, but I think this is Coogler's best film to date. And I think it might be Michael B. Jordan's best film to date also. Hey guys, if you like this review and you want to see more, click right down below to subscribe to my channel. I post reviews as frequently as I can on here. I also write reviews every week on my Patreon page. So if you sign up for Patreon for free, you get free movie reviews to read every week. Beyond that, if you wanted to subscribe to our Patreon, you'll be able to listen to it on Spotify and get these reviews early before everyone else. So, I will see you guys back here next time.